Hello there. What comes to mind when you hear the word capital? No. Not Abuja, Accra, or Nairobi. Capital means something different in economics. Join me as we explore capital as an economic concept in this lesson. Now that we are sure we are not speaking about countries, let us define, explain, highlight the characteristics, the types, and importance of capital. Capital can be defined as man-made assets used in the production of goods and services. Think about capital as money, machinery, equipment, buildings, vehicles, raw materials, semi-finished goods, and so on. It may also be defined as the stock of previous wealth invested to create wealth in the future. Recall in our previous lesson, we gave an example of a farmer riding a tractor. We said the tractor is the capital, so that should give you a clear idea of the picture of what capital is. Now that we know what capital is, we will discuss the specific features that characterize capital as a factor of production. The first characteristics of capital is that it is man-made. It has to be created and built by man before it is used for the production of goods and services. Next, capital depreciates over time. As time goes on, physical assets like buildings, vehicles, equipment, and even liquid assets like money lose their present value. Capital exists in different forms. It may be physical and durable like buildings, vehicles, plants and equipment, or it may just be liquid like money or cash. Capital makes it possible for large-scale production to take place. With sufficient capital, firms can ensure that the production of goods and services on a larger scale. Capital promotes the division of labor. This means that with the availability of sufficient capital, labor will be able to be spread out to different tasks and activity, which will lead to specialization. There are 4 different types of capital. They are fixed capital, circulatory or working capital, current or liquid capital, and social capital. Fixed capital refers to assets that are not used up in the course of production. They are durable items that usually last a long time for the business. Fixed assets do not change form in the process of production. Examples of fixed assets are buildings, plants, equipment, and vehicles. Next, we have circulatory or working capital, which refers to assets that either change form or are used up in the course of production. Examples of these are water, fuel, and raw materials that are used up during production. Then we have current or liquid capital, and this refers to assets that a firm holds as money. This could be bank deposits, cash balances, finished goods and services that a business uses day to day to run its productive activities. And finally, social capital refers to resources or amenities that are usually provided by the government to aid society and lead to more efficient production. Examples of these are roads, electricity, and water services. When these are readily available, they greatly improve the process of production. So, why is capital important, you may wonder? Capital facilitates the production of goods and services. The availability of capital makes it possible for this to be done on a large scale. Capital boosts efficiency and economic development. At its core, capital raises productivity by allowing the provision of more assets that can be used for production. Capital raises the standard of living of a country, a business, or individual. It provides higher purchasing power, which allows for the acquisition of assets and resources that improve living standards and conditions. The provision of social capital assists in deciding where industries should be situated. Amenities like good roads, constant water, and power supply affect the location of industries. Every factor of production has a reward, and the reward of capital is interest. To do a brief recap in this lesson, we'll learn about capital, what it means, the type of capital, and its characteristics and importance. I do hope you have enjoyed this lesson as much as I did. I would see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.